Okay, so today is our first annual tradition of having a podcast after the cooling season. So this is really for other service techs out there, customers out there. This is just kind of giving you a perspective of some of the things that we see throughout the cooling season. So full disclosure, we're in Birmingham, Alabama. Our cooling season this year really got geared up about mid-April. And as we are doing this podcast, it is 90 degrees outside. So it is still very, very warm. So we will probably have never-ending summer and be working till October. So just to introduce or let everybody introduce themselves around the table. So my name is Jay Douglas. I am the president of the company. To my right,
Jonathan Sells, one of the senior technicians.
John Southern, service manager. Carson Simmons, service technician.
Derek Lawley, senior service technician.
Matt Ragsdale, maintenance service tech.
Parker Hudson, service tech.
Parker has his own maintenance plan. We'll share about that later. Okay, all right. So yeah, we'll get started and share some stories. So we did a really, really big project in Homewood, Alabama. It's 4 stories. It's all VRF, VRV equipment, and there's about 30 indoor units on every single floor. 3 branch boxes on every single floor to 1 outdoor unit. So a whole lot of equipment. And it just so happens that I know the owner of this building pretty well. And he is he's an interesting fellow, but he's got a huge team that works for him. And so I get a service call. I'm actually on another job site in Mountain Brook, Alabama. I'm actually working with Jonathan, and Parker's out there as well. Matt, you may have been there. And it's all of a sudden just panic 911. Hey, we need you to come to this building in Homewood. The entire first floor is down. And the gentleman who calls me is the manager of the property. And I go, okay, give me a few minutes. Let me get off this other job site, and I'll rush right over. I didn't have any tools with me. I was in my personal vehicle. I actually had to get Jonathan's keys, hop in his vehicle, and I was like, Jonathan, do you have a meter? Do you have this? Do you have that? And he's like, oh yeah, it's all in here. Just don't judge me on the van condition right now. Jonathan had just recently swapped over to that, and like, there was stuff everywhere. It was a mess, but it wasn't his fault, but it was just crazy. So anyway, long story short, I hop in, I drive like 15 minutes over to this other job site, and immediately walk in the building and say, hey, who's so-and-so, or where is so-and-so, and where's the keys? And they're like, well, there's nobody here right now. And I'm like, what do you mean? They just called me. And they're like, oh, well, go to this tenant and get the keys from them. So I have to walk into this coffee shop on the first floor, and they're having some kind of big-time Zoom meeting, and they're all in the conference room. And you can tell, like, they're really into their meeting. So I have to knock on the door and like get their attention and be like, hey, can I have your keys? And they're like, why can't you get them from the other, the building management people? And I'm like, because they're not here. Story of my life. So I get the keys from them, and I'm able to make it into the mechanical room. And I go in the mechanical room, and I get to the central controller. So this central controller allows me to see everything on this floor. And of course, I look at it, and literally every unit is working just fine except for one. There is one unit that is an error code. And I'm thinking, okay, like condensate or something maintenance related, not like a true error code. And so I go to validate which room it is. Well, for whatever reason, that one unit is not labeled, and the diagram that we left up there is gone. It's missing. So it's like, okay, I got 30 units on this first floor of this building, and I have to go into every one of these suites and just figure out which one's giving me the error code. And so I call the property manager and say, hey, I need to go in all these doors and figure out all this stuff. I got these keys from the coffee shop. You're not here. Like, is it okay? Like, there's a school, there's a spa, there's some kind of medical thing, there's a barber shop. Like, there's a whole bunch of different businesses here. So he goes, no. And I go, okay, well, hey, while I've got you on the phone, what's changed? Is there anything going on in the building? Like, did you guys like have a power reset? Is there, what's going on in the building? Are you guys doing anything? Are you working in here? And he's like, oh no, everything's good. I was like, okay. So I'm thinking, go check every single unit, figure out where it is. So an hour later, I finally figure out which unit it is. And I'm able to get into that room, which also happens to be a conference room. And they are also having a meeting. But I'm like, hey, I got to get to this unit. Like, your unit has got the entire floor down. So I go to look at it, and there's no error code on the unit. And I was like, that's strange. So I'm like, power reset, let's try that. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to go check the branch boxes. So the branch boxes are behind this huge 3-foot door, like a hospital door. You could take a bed through it. But it's locked. And it's a keypad, and the key will not open it. So I finally call them and say, hey, can you give me the code to get into this room? Sure, they give it to me. I open the door, and boom, as soon as I walk in, there is a full construction crew remodeling this huge space that has 3 of our heads and 3 of our branch boxes in there. And so I called the office manager back, and I was like, bro, you said you didn't have anything going on. You got a full construction site going on here, and there's guys working everywhere. And he's like, oh, yeah, must have forgot that. So long story short, what had happened is they were putting a partition up, and when they did, they pulled on a wire and pulled one little wire out that shut down an entire floor. And I was like, bro, if you would have just told me, like, hey, we got construction, it might be in here instead of checking all 30 other spaces, that had made a whole lot more sense. So anyway, that's my kind of funny but kind of frustrating story from summertime this year. So to continue with that story, some people were there today for a similar ish service call. Why don't you tell us your experience today at that facility?
Go for it, Derek.
So we get there. What? He can hear me. So we get there. It's on the 4th floor this time, and get to this. They're already in there at the central controller, messing with it when we round the corner into the medical or into the mechanical room. So immediately, me and LJ are like,
and see them like,
yeah, literally just touching stuff. And we're like, oh no,
No.
And so he's like, well, there's 7 of these units that's off, and we're like, okay, why? He's like, we didn't touch them, and it's like, okay, somebody did.
So we know who did.
So luckily, well, at this point we weren't on the phone with you. So I was like, all right, LJ, let's go to every room, figure out which one of them is off. Well, Jay calls, and he's like, no. Go to the master, and let's do an all call to every unit and get every one of them back on and make sure they all come on. Well, we do that, and first time we set it at 73 for everything. And so we're like, okay, and then Jay showed me how to go in and access the refrigerant temperature sensor inside those units to make sure that refrigerant was pumping to each head. So we did a few of them. But then guys were like, I think we want it at 71. So we go back in there, do an all call at 71. Well, at that point, I noticed the temperatures are changing as we're doing this. And they're in there literally just messing with temperatures as we're going through the building. And it's just like,
so Derek's like, what's going on? We can hear the beeping.
Yeah.
And I like run out of the mechanical room and like get around the corner.
Are y'all touching the
thermostats? What are y'all doing? Like kids, grown 50-year-old men.
And how many times have you been at the customer's house and they do that? Where you're there, like service call, you made us, and you said it, and then you go outside, the unit's not running. You're like, what the hell? Like, and then you go back in there, and it's got like the busybody homeowner.
Yes.
It's like, well, yeah, you turned it to 65. I turned it back to 0. Like,
I got my app out, and I saw that the temperature went down, and I turned it back up, and it's like, you called us.
Yeah.
I had them do it when you're doing a heat maintenance, and you're like running the unit. Like, I'm getting hot.
Yeah.
I'm like,
turn it down.
like that's the point. That's why I'm here is to check your heat.
So I got a good one.
All right.
So it was this summer, and it was a job that we installed, and so of course I was on call. It's gonna happen when you're on call. So Saturday, about 3:00, I get the phone call, and it's like AC's not working. So I was like, call a customer, get dispatched, whatever, right? So I'm headed to the job, and by the time I pull up, it's this whole party going on. Like, a celebration. Like it's like 50 cars in the driveway. Like it was crazy. So I hop out. I'm like, here we go. And of course, I'm thinking like something's wrong with the equipment. So the husband meets me at the front door, and I was like, man, y'all got a whole party going on. He was like, yeah, I know. My daughter's graduating, and we got like her friends are here. So I was like, all right, like let's get to it. He was like, well, I want to tell you something before you get started. So I was like, okay. So my son was installing a stove yesterday, and the stove doesn't work neither. So I was like, the stove doesn't work. I was like, well, they're going to be on 2 separate breakers. And he was like, no. They have to be on the same breakers. The stove's out as well. So I was like, well, let's just go look at the equipment and see what's going on, and we'll go from there. So he now he's one of those guys, he's going to take me where he wants me to go. So it's like, let's go to the outdoor unit. So I'm like, all right. So I follow him to the outdoor unit. I'm like, I kind of like look at the panel. I'm like, yeah, man, like I'm not getting nothing here. Like we need to go inside. So we make it to the indoor section and look at the thermostat. And I was like, all right, yeah, this ain't telling me nothing. Like, let's go look at the electrical panel. Like, let's go to the panel. So I get down to the panel, and sure enough, the breaker's off to the stove and the outdoor unit. Now, he flipped them trying to find the stove. They put the stove in the day before for the party. So no food was cooked, nothing, because the sun turned the breakers off.
Wow.
I can't make this up. I promise.
At least it was something like that. At least it wasn't like, hey, our house won't maintain temperature because we have 50 people in here going in and out of the doors and all that other stuff. So yeah, homeowners, you can't do that. That like units aren't sized for that.
He apologized. It was funny at the end, but he was ready to
That'll
give
be
it to
179.
Yeah.
Gotta collect.
Get your son to pay that for the money he saved you on the stove installation.
He
So
was like, wait till I tell his mom, she's gonna kill him.
We talked about this morning in the meeting about how we're coming up with the winter season and holiday season, and like how many calls we'll run where it's like, hey, everything was fine, and then it's not, nothing's working. You get there and the power's off because the homeowner got in the attic to get
their Christmas tree,
get their decorations out of the attic, and they hit the switch.
They do it every time.
Yeah.
they're like, oh, it didn't turn off the lights. Let me hit the other switch, but not turn that one back on.
And for some reason, it always seems like we were there just doing a maintenance or something,
like,
and then it's like, well, y'all were just out here, and you said it was working fine, but now nothing's running, and it's like, and they're like, oh, and like, well, that'll be $79.
Yeah. Mr. Matt.
Go ahead.
I was gonna
Go ahead.
Oh, I got one. So we go in crawl spaces all the time, obviously, and I can deal with rats and spiders and all kinds of other bugs. We see everything. And about a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago, I was doing a maintenance, and this isn't super common, but they are out there where there's a basement, and somewhere in the basement there's a regular door. You open the door, boom, crawl space. And so I had just gotten there to do the cooling maintenance, and she was showing me around. I was like, so where's your indoor unit? Where's the air handler? And she was like, right through that door. And I opened the door, and I kid you not, we measured it, 7 foot long snake skin.
Ugh.
And I just stood there, and
but no.
I was like, whoa. And she was like, what is it? What is it? And she walked up next to me, and she goes, I was in here 2 hours ago, and that wasn't there. And I was like,
Whoa.
So I'm like, I can't, dude. Snakes are not my thing. And so, anyways, I'm just like, I guess I'm just gonna have to like man up and just do this. And so she was like, hold on, I'll be right back. So I'm standing there just staring at the snake skin. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, it's one of them situations where like the longer you stare at it, the more nervous you get. I'm waiting like 5 minutes, and I'm like, where did she go? And she comes back from her outdoor shed with a hoe. And she was like, all right, go ahead, I got you back. We learned to be efficient in the summertime, especially in the attics, but that is probably the fastest indoor
You don't take things in there and throw it and make a lot of noise.
Oh,
I'll take a handful of rocks.
yeah.
So, Jonathan and I have been in this crawl space. We have a customer that has geothermal that has a very, very low crawl space. And I'm not kidding. The very first time I went under there, you have to crawl like 20 feet about.
Yep.
And it's a belly crawl. Like if you want to change direction, you have to pivot. You can't even roll over. And man, they had some like old like 15 mil plastic down, and you could hear it underneath the plastic. And I was like, what do I do? Like, you can't go anywhere. Like, I was just like, I just had to stop moving and just like close my eyes and just say, it's going to be okay.
No.
You're not going to die.
There's another customer that knows Derek, and I think it's in like Alabaster, and it was some snake skin. And she was like, Derek went up there, and I was like, that's Derek.
I promise you, Derek didn't see it, or Derek wasn't going up there.
I'm not getting up there
I mean,
with it.
just think about like how many times you've been in a crawl space
There's no telling.
and there's probably
Yeah.
a snake or something right there.
You don't see it.
Like,
I know.
yeah, it's just blinders. We got our flashlights like on
We're on a couple of HVAC pages, and people will post pictures like that, and there'll be like a rattlesnake curled up in the corner on top of a block in like a gap that we're not even normally like. I wouldn't even think to look up there, and it's like no.
Hey, I was just about to say, I had one. So I always get a call from John, Derek, or LJ, someone that wants to get me hemmed up for the rest of the day.
To be fair,
We can't fit in this space.
Oh.
Call Parker. That's exactly what it is.
To be fair, you had called me. You were done, and you called me, and you're like, "Hey, do you need anything?"
That's a courtesy call.
I went to you really don't want to go? Yeah.
So you called like, "Hey," and I was like, "Actually, yeah, I'm headed to this call." Actually, I said no, and then when I got there, and I realized it's like a scuttle hole going into an attic, and you got to crawl over the furnace to get to like the drain line.
Yeah, because
I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna need your help." Anyway,
like,
so
honestly, you need someone smaller than me to get back.
it's yeah.
Because we had to get to the drain line, and I could get to the drain line, but I couldn't like take it off and like treat it or do whatever I needed to do, and so I crawl over. It takes me about 5 minutes to do that.
So to set the scene, like it's a scuttle hole. You stand on top of a 6-foot ladder, and the furnace is like hanging right there, but the gap between the furnace and the joist is like this. So you have to like crawl.
Mm-hmm.
It's not an easy to get over, and it's really not easy to get back.
Yeah, and you're causing a whole like scene trying to get over it.
Yes.
So I'm treating the drain line. I'm putting my tabs in it, all the good stuff. And I'm hearing stuff like it sounds like, like a freeway. You can hear like cars, or you can hear like buzzing of some kind. Just was kind of making me feel uneasy. I was like, John, you hear that? You hear that? He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude, there's something over here. And I don't know what. I'm like looking around. My flashlight's of course dead. I'm like, can you hand me your little one? So I'm looking around. And I look up, and there is a wasp nest the size of like half of a basketball, just right above my head, just covered in wasps. I've never escaped that.
So he's like, oh, there's wasps. So I'm thinking there's like a wasp flying around. So he comes like shooting through the hole. And like, I gotta get out of here, freaking out to the point where is it that serious? It's a wasp, And like he comes over and I shot the flashlight up, and he's like, "There's a huge wasp that was literally right above his head." I don't know how he didn't get stung.
I don't know. They like maybe asleep, but they were moving around.
Well, it was in the afternoon when
or
they
maybe
caught.
I just have it like that, where I just don't get bothered. I don't know.
The nest was covered. They were all over the nest. They really weren't flying around. But it was one of those like. It was a miracle that he didn't just get bombarded, because they were right above his head and he was down there moving around.
It's a miracle I didn't take that air handler down with me.
Did you swan dive out of the scuttle hole?
Yes.
Was it head first?
It was.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
pretty
he came.
close.
I'm surprised he, I wish you could have had it on video, because I'm sitting here looking at him, his facial, and he looks up and he's like, "Oh God!" He like shooting through, and it was like, "Oh my God!"
Trying to catch it.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And even when we did get the wasp spray up there, they didn't try to fight it. They just accepted their fate.
They just died.
We sprayed them.
They took it.
That was a.
And y'all make fun of me because of how many cans of wasp spray I went through this year.
Hey, wasps are bad this year.
Very bad.
Yeah.
I got lit up.
Well,
like,
they've had every
twice
year. We
a
say
week.
that it's like summer. It's like it's hot. It's hotter this year. It's like, is it ever really hot or is it just?
We're getting older.
It's hot.
It gets
It's
worse.
Carson, you haven't told us any stories yet.
I've been over here sitting here trying to think of a good story to tell. The main thing I've gathered from this is you guys have indoor units. When we come into the house and ask to see it, they're there, I promise.
Indoor unit? Filter?
can't-
What is that?
I can't tell you how many times I go in there, thermostat, I'm like, please, show me the indoor unit, and we're going outside. And I'm like, is it outside? We get around there, and there's a condenser sitting there. I'm like, can you show me the indoor unit? And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about. So then I go down there, and they're like, that bot. Every time I get out of my car in the garage, just making noise. I wonder what that thing was. You have it.
That is about right.
What's your story?
Oh yeah, Derek, we haven't had a story from you.
Well, I did have one funny one a couple of weeks ago. It was actually Mindy Brasher. She wouldn't mind me saying this. That's why I want to use her name. But her husband was pulling weeds, and they have 2 evolution systems, like the 284s, so the extremes.
Yep.
And
Really good system.
yeah, and so they was pulling weeds, and she sends me a text. She's like, "Hey, we're throwing an outdoor communication fault." And I was like, "Okay, what'd you do?" She said, "Well, my husband was pulling weeds." I was like, "Oh crap!" Like did he? Like more than likely just pulled the thermostat wire out of the plug, but like if there's a board, it's inverted board. Like, oh, what'd they smoke? So anyway, so I was messing with her, and I was like, this is probably going to be a $20,000 mistake. If that thing's not it's under warranty, but if y'all messed it up, I guess you're going to have to pay for it. You have to buy a new system. So the whole time, like I'm headed over there, and I'm just texting her and messing with her, and I get all it was just he had pulled the plug out of there, but he met me at the front door. Sweating. Literally
She had him
sweating.
She had him
Yes,
stressed out.
yes. Like you could just see the look because it was his mistake, and I'm sure. And me and her, she's probably she's been with a customer with KS the longest as I've been here. I've done work for her for 6 or 7 years now. From the time she lived in Hoover all the way over to Brook Highland, so I've got a long relationship with her. So anyway, so she had him all messed up, and you could just see it on his face. And I just took the panel off and just put the plug back in it, and it was probably 2 minutes that unit ramped up, and he was like, "Oh my god!" And he was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Thank God." I was like, "Yeah," because I was just messing with you. So
Yeah, we've had a few of those where like either the husband or the wife has done something and has owned the other one. I think we were having that conversation this morning about it was like, oh yeah, she was.
I had one time where the wife was getting stuff out of the attic and turning the switch, and he was like giving it to her.
Because a lot of times that turns into an after hours call.
Yes.
It's cold. It's the holidays.
Yes, it was hilarious. Well, it wasn't funny, but he was messing her
It's
up.
not funny at the time. It's funny now.
No, it's not. Yeah. Let's see. Go. I'm sorry.
I was saying I don't have a specific story I can't recall as far as being funny or whatever, but this is Matt and Parker's first full summer.
Yeah.
So I figured just y'all's. We're at the end of the summer now. I heard you talking to Cindy, and she asked you how did you feel about your first full? And you're like, oh, I love it. It's like.
You guys gotta be better liars.
So I was like, I'm just curious, because I meant to ask both of y'all, where's your, how do you feel now that you've had a full year, you've had a full summer, and just your overall thoughts about what you're doing and this industry. And,
to paint the picture, Matt came from a completely different industry that was not. I would say not a laborious industry. So this has been a big change for you. And then Parker was in school and has 2 different backgrounds. He has a certification that he took for HVAC, but he also has a 4-year college degree. And so just to paint the picture of 2 very different backgrounds. So
yeah, I did 10 years in full-time ministry and then work from home sales job. So going from that to this was a big shift, but I loved it. I love working with my hands and
Past tense.
I'm glad summer's coming to an end. But no, it's a lot of fun. You get to see a lot of different stuff, and troubleshooting is fun. Doing maintenance is meeting new people, having cool conversations with customers is a lot of fun for me. I really do enjoy it. Just seeing different personalities and stuff like that out there. And I will say, one of the oddest things that I encountered this year was some other company sold a customer that I actually ran this call maybe a month ago, sold this guy a permanent filter 10 years ago.
Oh no.
And in 10 years, it's one of those flexible, easy flex filters, had not been changed in 10 years.
Ugh.
And those filters are good for a year max, like 1 year max. And so he looked at me like, they told me it was permanent. I was like, man, I'm sorry. It's not permanent.
The cabinet that the media resides in is permanent. The media is changeable.
Yes. But yeah, summer's hot. The attics are brutal, but just hydrate.
So one of the things I thought was funny, and I know not as much you, but Parker, for like, people make fun of me about how much I sweat. And like if you're riding with me, like when you first started, you're like, John, your pants are soaking wet. And then you like, when it's actually you doing the work and you're kind of responsible for whatever you're doing. And like I've seen you're just like, and it's like a
Parker
totally,
is
I've had
soaked.
that happen so many times, not just with y'all, but other people that work here. Where like somebody's training and they're like making fun of me because how much I sweat. My pants are always my sweaty knees. My knees are always.
Well, at some point in the job, I'm thinking this has to be a hazard for this board that I'm sitting over just dripping all my sweat on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've got definitely the sweat genes you do. For sure.
Sweaty knees,
Sweaty,
Junior.
sweaty, like
Wow.
wherever that mini split we were working on. I mean, I was sweating so bad in that attic. I thought I was going to split the board.
Anderson White, the video.
Anderson White, yeah. I've worked with John, and I think he was like over me.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it was in the attic.
Yes,
And I'm like,
it's a bonding experience.
It's
It's a bonding
which is
experience.
gross, but it's like
we got to
We've all
get the
been
job
there.
done, but John's sweating.
Ah, he is. And sometimes I'll look at him and be like, John, you're getting the control board wet, bro. Like take 5.
How about the lady that tried to shut y'all in the attic on that install in Alabama?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean,
In a townhome?
That's attempted murder.
yeah, no,
Literally, she was like, it's hot. We all just shut yourselves up in there?
Yeah, she didn't want the hot air from the attic getting into
Were you just
the
installed
townhome.
this furnace?
And let me tell you, that was probably the hottest attic I've been in all year.
It was bad.
There, we were
Buddy.
sweating out of our boots. Like there's sweat beads coming out of my boots.
Buddy, when I pulled up, Buddy was outside throwing up. That's how hot that attic was.
Ugh.
Yes. Yeah, I mean,
Jamie was-
Stacey. That was
hallucinating.
Stacey. I think it's Stacey Hall. Like that was a
No,
pretty.
no. What was her name? Well, we don't do it. But anyway, it was a townhome, so there was no power
I
vent. There was
heard
no
about
ridge
it.
vent. I mean, there was a ridge vent, but you
Not
know,
enough.
enough.
Yeah, for the record, for everyone watching in the Birmingham area, no roofer in this town installs a ridge vent properly.
No.
Just wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Look it up. Go in your attic and look at it, and you'll go, nope, that wasn't put in properly.
It was brutal.
All right. But anyway, so Parker, we were talking about your first year, reflecting on your first year.
I mean, so I got a little bit of glimpse of the summer last year. So I had a little bit more understanding for what I was getting into. But I was not expecting to just be like getting hemmed up with John. Because John didn't want to get up in attics.
I get
There was
it.
there was an install that we did. We were out there till like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. We had to get the plug for
That's
Stacey Hall. Yeah.
Stacey Hall. But like, I don't know. I'm thinking of like, with a college background and now doing HVAC, I think there was 2 things I could have done. I could have sat in a desk in a cubicle for 8-9 hours a day and go home and sit on a couch, or like I can work with my hands and like provide value to someo's home in some kind of way.
Well, and not only that, like, AI is not coming for our jobs.
No.
It's coming for a lot of other people's
someone
jobs, but
actually told me
it's
that.
not coming for our jobs.
Someone actually told me that there's going to be robots one day being able to fix these units. I was like, what are you talking about? I mean, yeah, we got robots on the street, but they can't even walk downstairs.
They run cars into Starbucks.
I mean, like, it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, I mean, I played baseball at Birmingham Southern, and like I had like a sense of like, I sweat a lot, but this is a different kind of sweat. John would say, sweating out the demons.
It is about right.
Well, you're saving the world one air conditioner at a time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Hey,
One AC at a time.
What's the hottest attic y'all have ever been in?
Are we talking like actually temped out?
Yes.
All right, so the hottest one that I've ever been in was just over 140. I think it was 140.3 on my sling psychrometer. And to give you an idea, 140 degrees is what they must keep food on a hot bar. So for ServSafe, for all the restaurant people out there, 140 degrees is what you have to store that food at on a hot bar. So yes, that's how hot.
I think mine was 140. What's yours?
I don't check because I don't want to know.
Denial's everything.
If I'm sweating, it's hot enough.
If you're sweating through your pants, it's hot.
Yeah.
I seriously.
I don't know. I think me and Clay did a job one time, and we temped it at like 136, and that was we were running a low voltage wire across the attic and down outside. We were having to go up there 4 or 5 minutes at a time, and I got to the point where I went out with the car, and actually, the only time I've ever went into a house with it on was one of those cool rags. Yeah. I got it out of my cooler and put it on my neck and went into the attic to work for a few minutes while he was taking a break. That was it was over off of Caldwell Mill.
I know one person in the room that's got us all beat.
I'm trying to find the picture.
I was about to say, I'm trying to find a picture.
And I know the house.
Hey, honest.
I shot the apex in the attic. It was 146 degrees.
No. Yeah, no.
Straight up.
Honestly, one of the hotter period of times for me was in that little van when the AC wasn't working.
But that's fixed now. I drove it. I drove it to that call in Homewood.
And I had my temp gun up to, it was registering like 110, 120. I was like, oh my God, I am baking in here.
So homeowners, this one's for you. And some of them we won't be able to repeat, but we can give you an idea. So most every single system we have now has a Wi-Fi thermostat. And let me tell you something, you guys have some of the most interesting Wi-Fi passcodes I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Anybody want to share any of them that are appropriate to share? Because there are some.
I have one that's appropriate.
Yeah. I mean the typical like Hot Mama one or something like that, but like there are some like it's like I don't know if I can type that in.
What shocks me more than that is when you got it's a zone control and it's in their room, the people that own the house, and you guys you lay it out there.
Sit in the master bedroom.
We're just looking at each other like it's not there.
Yeah. I do have a funny story. Now, this was years ago. I went to run a service call. It was during regular business hours. It was actually in Homewood, and it was one of those older Homewood houses that, like, Jonathan, you did a job this year that had like the really steep stairs into like a cellar that has a sump pump, and it's not a real basement, but it's like an old basement.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
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 So it was one of those, and I was like, but this one was a little bigger cellar, and you could clearly see that there was kind of a room down there or whatever, but I don't know, like it. I was like, hey, so I need to go to the indoor unit. And they're like, what do you mean? And I was like, yeah, so your condenser's outside, like, you're like where your furnace is. Or your
box from inside the house?
No, not that one. The funny thing is while I was having the conversation with them, they clearly understood what I was saying. They just were denying they knew where it was. And they're like, oh, it's downstairs. And I was like, awesome, it's downstairs, like in the basement and a closet and through a room. They're like, oh yeah, you gotta walk through a room. I was like, okay. Well, will you show me how to get down there? And so they do. So I go down the really, really steep steps in this Homewood house, and there's just like a small landing down there. I guess it's big enough for the sump pump and like maybe like a 3 foot by 3 foot, but then there's a door to a room. And boy, I opened the door. And it is a straight up S&M room all day long. And the piece of equipment is sitting in the corner. And I'm talking like there was everything. There was whips and change and swings and everything. And I'm like, they're like, yep, it's right over there. And I was like, okay, well, if you guys want to stand there and watch, I'm not sure, but you know, I'm gonna fix this for you real quick, and then I'm gonna get the hell out of here.
What you're into?
There's a house over in Birmingham that's like that.
There's a guy. It's over in the Roebuck area.
Yep.
I went over there and, you know, I thought it was odd that there was a similar setup to where we're sitting right now. And I was like, I wonder what they're doing there. Well, you go down the scary stairwell that nobody wants to go down, and they've got like the little medieval gate, you know, that you lock your head and arms into. They've got like saw horses, and you name it, it was in there.
Oh, and they're like open and like happy to talk about it.
Yeah,
and it's like
I'm not sure if that's a.
I was scared to death.
Hey,
The things we see.
on the flip side of things, me and you had a call at a house in downtown Birmingham. Go to do a maintenance, and it's one of those, I didn't know this was a thing, but apparently it's pretty popular and common in downtown Birmingham houses where it's a crawl space, but you access it like a basement from inside the house. I go walking down these very steep steps, and a smell out of nowhere just hits me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what in the world is that? Turn the flashlight on, and the entire bottom of that crawl space is covered in like 3 to 6 inches of sewage.
Ugh,
That was
nope.
awful. That was
Yeah.
absolutely
That's a no.
That was,
And there's people living in the house.
yeah.
And they didn't.
And they had no idea.
Wow.
I mean, I've probably got a story of every single one of you hemming me up in some way. This one's about LJ.
Oh boy.
Jonathan would never do that.
Oh, you kidding me? Anyway, we had come out on a drain line, Cole. I can't remember where it was. It was just, I'm trying to forget. It was an attic drain line that feeds down into a pump, and we're trying to track down all these 90s all the way down the house. Where is it clumped up and causing all this? Anyway, I'm standing because he's trying to blow it through, trying to get it to push out. And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go get a nitrogen bottle," and
Which is capable of like 1,400 psi. Capable.
Yeah,
You don't have to do that,
That bad.
but it's capable.
It was that bad. He had to go get a nitrogen bottle.
PVC?
I get it.
The shop vac was not working.
The shop vac did not work. But I'm sitting down there. LJ asked me.
I think you were down there with the homeowner, right?
I was down there with the homeowner.
Oh
Put
god.
it in a 5-gallon bucket,
I gave him a bucket.
and I'll let you know when I'm getting ready to shoot out some nitrogen. Sitting there, he hadn't called me. I was like, okay, like where is he? I'm sitting there talking to the homeowner, and all I hear is, and it just like I'm talking like maybe 2 gallons of water just comes out all gunked up and just splashed all over my face, my shirt, and the homeowner's like, wait, you got a vendetta against him? Like, you not like him? Like,
Yeah,
what did you do that for?
that happened.
I-
That did that.
Okay.
My bad part.
Everybody's got.
Ones of those are where I need a mic.
Give me the mic.
Some of our homeowners, we've educated them to, pour vinegar. That's my preferred method. But sometimes they'll pour bleach. Bleach. Yes. So, I mean, that line's 60, 70 feet sometimes, and it's 3 stories.
And a whole gallon.
It'll hold gallons. So you cut that knotty and you just get drenched in bleach.
Yes.
You can always tell us if somebody comes and they've got dots all over their shirt, it's bleach.
100%.
We had one of my neighbors, and they had done that, I guess, trying to clear the drain, and we're trying to figure out where the clog is, and we're cutting, and I cut, and it's just bleach.
just all in his mouth, like just it was awful.
Yeah.
So homeowners, if you're watching this, that comes from a couple of places. Like either A, your duct system's not sealed on the return and you're pulling in a bunch of gunk and it's getting on the coil, or you don't change your filter once every 10 years. That's pretty much how it happens. So
treat the drain lines.
treat your drain line.
Parker Mead had that one this year where we had a hose pipe outside and a hose pipe inside
Oh
pulled
my
it into the
gosh.
attic.
That one might have been the worst. I forgot about that one. That one was the worst.
It was raining on her pool table.
Yeah,
Like,
the
it was
poor lady's ceiling was flooding, and I'm up there, I'm blowing out, trying to get it to move. Derek's outside, seeing if it's coming out.
At this point, we had determined that there was no way to run a new line because the eave of the house collapsed down so tight, there was no way to get back there. So we were like, this has got to get cleared one way or the other. And I looked at her and I was like, we need to pull a hose pipe inside. And she was like, just do what you got to do. Everything's already flooded anyway. And go ahead. I mean, it was...
Yeah, so of course, Derek wants me to get up there.
I was outside.
At least you're not on the outside.
You know, I thought, yeah, this will be fine. It's just going to go in, and it's not going to be, like, no. As soon as I put full, pressure of water, it's spraying back on me. I'm getting soaked.
So we did that a couple times and it wouldn't turn loose. So I went in there to go talk to Parker, and I look up in the attic, and here's just stuff on his face, water everywhere. I'm like, dude, he's blowing back out here, man. What are you doing this? I was like, all right, we gotta give it one more. And finally, we get, it was once or twice more to do. When it turned loose, her generator was right there, and there was just a splatter. It was like somebody shot with a paintball. Stuff all over her generator. It was awful. And I was smart enough when I was doing this. I was standing off to the side instead of right in front of it. Oh.
Well, I think we're probably coming close to closing up our first podcast, but I think we should do this. We should go around the table and actually give an informative part to the customer. So if there's one thing that you saw this summer that you could tell customers in general, hey, just, if you do this or if you do that, or if you could do this or could do that, how it would help them. And I'll get it started off. Mine's pretty easy. So I love to garden. I have a lot of plants at my house. I love trees. I love all the things, right? But your AC system should not have a forest around it. And you homeowners that insist on putting holly trees around your HVAC systems, no. No. You try to get in between an HVAC system and a holly tree. So, yeah, my biggest advice to homeowners is if you can't get a 24-inch clearance around your system, then it's time to either hire the landscaping folks or go out there with your shears or whatever you can do. Keep that area free and clean, because it really does make a big difference. So that would be my first tip, and that's something I've seen a lot of this year.
I think it would be very beneficial if you guys would look around your gas furnaces and make sure you don't have any towels laid on them, or that they're disconnected. That can be very dangerous. And we see that all the time.
I'll add to that. Your equipment is not a storage facility.
No, and the bins around it, it's got to suck combustible air, and there's a lot that goes into the way it works. So
what you're saying, it's a controlled explosion?
It is a controlled explosion.
Okay, all right, gotcha. Just want to make sure.
If only we could show that video.
Yeah,
if that video. Send that to Ronald so he can cut it in. Yeah, that was what I was gonna say. Is we're talking about the light switches and holidays, and homeowners that just throw all their stuff into the attic that just gets piled around the unit. One, it doesn't need to be piled around the unit, but two. he said
Carson, he was it again.
But yeah, not piling up, stuff in the attic, Christmas ornaments, Christmas trees, because we have to access that. A lot of times we're stepping over that stuff or moving it. kicking it out of the way.
Is he?
Yeah, that would be my recommendation.
Jonathan?
I would say, kind of take your technicians' advice. For the most part, we're here to help. We're not here to really give you guys a hard time. It's more of a we have homes ourselves. We got family. We got friends. So, when we do give you our perspectives on it, it's for your best interest. So I would say, we're really here to help.
That's a good one.
That's probably the best advice I've heard.
Do your maintenances. I mean, do your maintenances. We're going to do our best to get in touch with you and schedule them. But do your maintenance. There's nothing worse than a 10 o'clock at night or a 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning maintenance-related after-hours call.
That's good.
I mean,
if you're a Douglas Care customer, you get 50% off at Hudson Care. Just saying.
Yeah. We got to do the Hudson Care thing.
What's Hudson?
This is mine, and this is like the most basic 101 HVAC thing you can do. Change
your filter.
Your filter.
Yeah.
I love our customers, and I hate more than anything having to go and charge them money because they did not change a filter.
You change your filter at your house?
I do.
About every 4 or 5 months.
Change it once a month.
All right, Parker, what you got? Seems like yours would be condensate related.
Well, yeah, I mean, it goes what he said, do your maintenance, but honestly, you got to do it more. You got to at least do twice the summer to treat your drain line. But I think my advice or my suggestion is if you have a crawl space, invest in encapsulating it. It makes,
That's good.
If it's in, I will be willing to spend more time in an encapsulated, but if I'm like crawling through spider webs, cobwebs, I see snake skins. It's hard.
Raccoons, bats,
chipmunks.
That reminds me, there was one house. It looked like some kind of like demonic circle with pillows.
Yeah,
but yeah,
like all the person was sleeping in there.
Yes, I was a little bit concerned, but encapsulate it. We're not going to feel a rush to get out of an encapsulated crawl space.
Yeah, I think that, it's funny that you say that. It's John's was about access, mine was about access, yours is about access. And Carson told the story, show me where your indoor unit is. If you don't know where that is in your house, that's, especially if you have a gas furnace, again, that is a controlled explosion. You need to know where these things are just as a homeowner. And that's whether you're the homeowner or you're renting a space. You just need to know where these things are, because the more effective you know where your things are, and if there is a problem, you could be a better communicator to us, which helps us work quicker and get your problem solved quicker, which gets your uptime, but also helps you on your bill. The quicker we can get something done, or at least get to the bottom of it, it really does benefit you, the homeowner. And I think that's what Jonathan was saying is hey, we're here to help. If you'll just communicate with us and be able to answer some pretty basic questions, it really does help us out a lot. So
what you're saying is don't have it framed into a bathroom wall in your basement where you can't access it.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. And for all you DIY people, right? Which I love you. I'm DIY, right? I'm not complaining, but before you finish that basement, talk to your HVAC people first and make sure you're not boxing something up that we can't access, or like Carson said, doesn't have combustion air. So
video the noises.
Yes.
When they start making noise outside, inside,
yeah.
whatever. Because when you're it's making a noise and then we show up, it's not going to be making a noise. So it's really hard to tell what that is, and we don't want to listen to you try and replicate that.
Yeah. That's absolutely 100%. That's a joke.
Well,
What you meant to say is you have an old Goodman before Daikin.
Gene's gonna be calling when this airs.
Yes.
what?
Or you have a unit with an LG compressor, but that's another podcast. So with that, we appreciate it. We'll see you next time.